Hey folks, we've got another Clean Water Systems instructional video for you today. Today we're going to walk through setting up our J-PRO-6 chlorine pump, which can also be used for hydrogen peroxide. So this works basically the same as our J-PRO-22 pumps, except for the J-PRO-22s can deliver up to 22 gallons of product a day. This is our lower cases, delivers 6 gallons per day. So here we have a 15-gallon tank with our childproof safety cap on it. The actual pump. You have your instruction manuals. You have two types of tubing. You have a clear tubing, and you have a not so clear. It's more of an opaque type tubing. It's a little bit stiffer. This is a softer tubing. You have your weight. You have your foot valve that's going to go down into the tank with a check valve built in, and you have an injection check valve. So you're going to want to find a place to install this tank, not outside in direct sunlight or anywhere where it's going to freeze. We also highly recommend, these are 120 or 240 volt, we highly recommend you use surge protection. They are very susceptible to power outages. So the first thing we're going to do, and I've already drilled them here, is we're going to mount our pump to the top of the tank. So I've got a couple of small holes drilled here, and I've got a 3/8 diameter hole here and here. One's going to be for the inlet side of the pump, and the other is going to be for our degassing valve that'll put solution back in. So once you've got your holes drilled and everything, we're going to go ahead and put the foot valve assembly in. So we're going to take our clear tubing, the more flexible tubing, and we're going to use this for the foot valve that goes down inside the tank. You basically want this portion right just above the bottom of the tank, like maybe 1/8 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch above. Also, you want to use the clear tubing because it's very important this drops straight down and it's not off to the side like this. One thing to make sure is you get this tubing clear up against this shoulder here. You can use hot water or a heat gun, and you go ahead and get that all the way up in there like that. The next thing we'll do is we'll go ahead and slide our weight on the tube here, and this just helps hold the whole assembly up straight. The next thing you're going to want to do is you want to make sure, calculate the height from the bottom of your pump here. So that would be from here. And you go ahead and run it down in there and measure that off and cut your tubing. And now that we have our tube cut, we'll go ahead and slide this guy down into the thing. Bring it up through the hole. Place our nut on there. And again, we want to go all the way up as close as we can to this shoulder. Up like that. Go ahead and tighten the nut up. And these all need to be hand tightened. Don't use wrenches on them because you can crack the fittings. Okay. So as you can see, that tube goes down real nice. It's down nice and straight to the bottom of the tank, just above the bottom. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to put 4 gallons of water in here to start. We don't want to put any chlorine solution or hydrogen peroxide solution yet because we're going to get our pump primed, leak check our system before we add any of that. We'll now go ahead and cut another short piece of the clear flexible tubing. This will go on your degassing valve here, and this is just a little barb. You can just kind of press that on there. And we'll run the other end down into the second hole in the tank, just as a return line so it goes back into the tank. And this is where your degas valve line goes back in. You just put it above, just about 1 inch into the tank. You don't want it submerged down into the water. Now we're going to take our stiffer tubing, and we're going to go ahead and connect this to the outlet of the pump here. So again, we want to make sure we get this guy as far down as we can get it. preferably all the way down to the shoulder. Now we're going to go ahead and connect the other end of the outlet tube to the injection check valve. I want to take this moment to mention these injection check valves. It's very important that they are in the direct line of flow. So what you want is you want it within this area. We sell these tees with the adapters that are real handy. You just go ahead and use thread tape here on this guy, and as you can see, you're in your line of flow here. You can't have this off at a 90 degree. It needs to be able to drip straight down into it. And if you're in using smaller tubing, and this is too long, you can certainly use a hacksaw and trim this piece off to any length you need. But you just want to make sure you're somewhere in your area of flow. So again, we're going to go ahead and heat our tubing up. We're going to get it all the way up. Make sure it gets all the way up to here. This will swedge the tubing onto the fitting. We'll go ahead and get this plumbed into our system. Alright, we've got our inlet hooked up. We've got our line hooked up to our injection check valve into our plumbing. We have our degas valve hooked up. We've gone ahead and screwed this down to the 15-gallon reservoir. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to prime the pump. So here you have an up and down button for your pump speed, and this, you don't turn this knob control unless the pump is operating. What this is your stroke. So this is the amount of each stroke, and this is how many strokes, how fast the strokes are. The set button in this case is not used. That's for a proportional pump. This is a non-proportional pump. So first thing you're going to want to do is turn it on. You're going to be at 100% here. You can scroll up or down to slow it down or speed it up. So you want that at 100%. And you want to make sure your stroke knob is at 100% as well. Okay, so we're going to slightly open this degas valve. And these pumps, the smaller volume pumps, are a little difficult to prime. So we'll go ahead and just open that up a little bit. And what I'm doing now is I'm watching the tube down here below, and I'm watching the water kind of climb. So you kind of just keep cycling this back and forth as you see the water column coming up. Please remember to be patient when you're priming this pump. It does take a while, and I'm watching the water rise up through that clear tubing about 1/4 of an inch each stroke. So you just want to keep kind of opening and closing this just a little bit to get it to where it's pulling it up. Okay, now you can kind of sort of see the water starting to come in here. Again, you're going to prime this all the way to your injection check valve. And this is going to take a little while, so like I said, be patient. Just kind of, if you see it stop, kind of loosen it up, tighten, go ahead and close the valve and open it back up a little bit, and it kind of keeps it going. These are a little finessey trying to get them to prime. I went ahead and removed the vent line here so I could kind of show you as you loosen this. You can see it kind of spurting out there. So that's what you want to kind of keep doing, is kind of keep burping it. And I can see that the air bubble now is going down the line. So we are continuing to prime. You just need to be real patient. Alright, we don't see any more air bubbles through here. I've gone ahead and closed the degassing valve. We are primed, and we are removing fluid through the check valve. Next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and turn the unit off. So as I mentioned before, I've got about 4 gallons of water in here. You don't necessarily want to fill these full. Your solution with chlorine and water is only good for about a couple of months, and after a couple of months it starts losing its strength. So you get a larger tank, you fill it, if you're not going through it in a couple of months, you're going to have to clean it out anyway. I did want to mention the water that I put in here. You do need to use RO or distilled water. You don't want to use bad raw water. Soft water is fine. Once you have your water in here, you'll go ahead and add your solution. We would recommend a NSF chlorine powder or a 10% pool chlorine. You basically want to make sure there's no additives to either one of those. So go ahead and figure out what your dose that you want. Go ahead and make that, put that in here. So you have two adjustments. You have the pump speed and you have the stroke knob. So the pump speed is the first one you want to start out. Your first is your solution strength. So you're going to test your free chlorine downstream to find out what your, you want your free chlorine to be around 0.2 ppm or less. That would give you your solution strength of how many gallons you're using. So once you figure that out and calculate your solution strength, this is your next adjustment, your pump speed. We recommend going ahead and setting the stroke at about 90%. You never want to get the stroke down to about 50% because you could chance losing the priming at that point. So put it at 90, play around with your pump speed here by, if you're a little high, go ahead and take your pump speed down to like 90, just kind of do it in increments of 10%, and then check your free chlorine again. Then you can even go down to like 80 if you want. And if you're still not seeing results, then you could go down to 80 on the stroke knob here. I mean, basically at 100% here, the stroke knob at 50%, you're going to pump 3 gallons a day at that specified flow rate. So anyway, these are the adjustments for your solution strength. This is your second adjustment, and this is your fine adjustment. So once you get your free chlorine set, check that monthly. Go ahead and I'll put the bypass tube back in. Go ahead and put my cap on. And you're good to go. Have a great day.